Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Chair and Senator Chamberlain, members. Let's stipulate all of us are deeply concerned about helping students and parents and maximizing students' potential. And that's why we serve on this committee. That's why we all have election certificates. We do have different points of view as to how to best accomplish that. But I thought we'd start just with that common stipulation, that understanding as to where we're at. There are many provisions that I support, that we support, and I'd like to just mention some of those to get off on a positive note. The access for rigorous coursework, post-secondary education opportunities. Yes. The expanded rural career and technical education. Absolutely. There are additional initiatives to get more teachers of color, and the pathway program for teachers of color, the hiring bonuses. There's some more that can be done, but a very good direction. Classroom aid, referendum equalization, transportation sparsity, safe schools, regional libraries, community ed. Yes. Education innovation zone plans, adult basic ed opportunities, and we support the increased flexibility for fund transfers. The lunch shaming provision, we have advocated that, and it's here. So bipartisan way, we've got that. The epilepsy seizure and training action plans, prohibiting the expulsion of the young K-3 students unless there's an extreme danger. That's progress. The disclosures on hazards in the schools to make sure there's parental and staff student notice, something that stemmed from the White Bear Lake incident, which we know, and that's in. There's strength and accountability for the world's best workforce. We support those. I wish we could just pass that portion of it right now, and let's hope in the conference committee process that these will survive. There are actually additional provisions too that I support and colleagues, like Senator Chamberlain. I won't go through all the provisions now. There are, though, some concerns that we have already litigated, already debated on the floor and on the committee. We oppose suspending academic standards for social studies. The discrimination against persons who are transgender appears in here. The LIFO repeal. We've had discussions, perhaps it'll renew on the floor, but we are going to register concerns that those are issues that are before us. The biggest issue, however, that we have is the target. I recognize it's a target, the number, the 152 million for the biennium budget. We're not talking about the federal money. Yes, federal money, and you spend that, and it should be allocated toward classrooms, and I acknowledge that it is needed. But for the 152 million for the biennium, it doesn't come close to addressing inflation. This will result in cuts for schools, and it's a concern. We can do more. The governor has proposed more. The other body is asking more. And soon I'll offer an amendment which would offer more, because this is our only opportunity to offer such an amendment, since it would be out of balance on the Senate floor. It's additionally troubling, in addition to not having enough funds, the education savings accounts, the vouchers, will siphon even more money from public schools. It's not the right direction. And look at the nonpartisan fiscal note as to the impact. When you look at 24-25, $250 million impacted on the general ed reduction. That's alarming. I understand the argument about parent choice, and there are many programs where we work with our non-public schools on non-religious items, but this is a significant drain to our public schools. And you add that not coming close to addressing inflation, it's a problem. We had some hope that there would be one additional tool. It had bipartisan authorship. Senator Duckworth's proposal and Chair Chamberlain, I was happy to be a co-author. There were others which would allow school boards to renew operating levy that had been previously approved by taxpayers at no tax increase, but would allow renewal. Somehow that did not make it. This would have been a valuable tool to have as well. So members, as I cited, there are many provisions that we support, but some of the policy issues that we've already argued on the floor are a concern. And the huge concern that I am really troubled with is regarding the funding. And we need additional resources for the schools to avoid cuts. So I offer the A4 amendment and ask for a roll call vote.
Senator Wiger offers the A4 amendment, and a roll call was requested and will be granted when we get to that point. Senator Wiger, I believe staff will probably send that out, but if you just want to start talking about your A4 amendment, obviously we won't take any action until members have an opportunity to see that in their emails, but go ahead and start discussing it.
Yes, thank you, Senator Eichhorn and members. It's two parts amendment, and one part would be what the governor is proposing in his inspirational Due North plan. And it would call for $731.5 million in the biennium. New money, 731.5. We're not talking about the federal, we're talking about state. And we also have provisions in there for the additional funds for summer school. And that would be an additional 96 million, I believe, 96.6, and that's from the general fund. It's true that 57.5 was liberated from the Legislative Advisory Committee, but the comprehensive program for summer school provided additional funds that districts have asked for, addressing declining enrollment, the need for more counselors, social workers, additional course offerings, reaching out into the community. The need, yes, it can be partially addressed in what has been there, but we would submit that the need can be more comprehensively addressed by providing that program. So we have talked about it before, and this is our only chance to offer that perspective. The other body has definitely expressed that interest. So has our governor, and so are we at this point. On the proposal for the biennium, it provides the needed funds that districts are asking for. We need to address the 4,000 students that are waiting in the pre-K 4 slots that need that extra help for getting ready for kindergarten. That's not funded in the bill that is before the committee. We need to address the cross subsidy for special education. This provision would do that as proposed by the governor. We could make some additional headway on the cross subsidy that's done for English language learners. Money is in there for counselors, additional help, and we did have a courtesy hearing, and actually, Senator Chamberlain, you did carry the bill, admittedly by request for the governor's office, but, and so just being sort of Minnesota nice to, put it in, but we are supporting that bill and the provisions there. So I strongly support those provisions. It puts needed resources there. Through tax committee, there's proposals that would help pay for it. And I would urge your support, and again, would ask for a roll call vote. Thank you.